So we are awaiting a news conference from Toronto Pearson International Airport. It's about that Delta Airlines plane that took off from Minneapolis and crash-landed yesterday in Canada. The jetliner burst into flames and then it flipped upside down. 80 passengers were on board, and a miracle from the Lord that nobody was killed. We do know of the people who were injured, the 21 who were injured. 19 have gone home from hospitals. 2 remain hospitalized. We hope to get their conditions as well as the exact cause that's still under investigation, what they're learning so far in this upcoming live news conference. You're watching Outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner, here with my co-host, Emily Campagno. Also joining us today, Cheryl Casoni, Fox Business anchor and host of the American Dream Home on Fox Business. Dreams come true, watch. Molly Hemingway, Fox News contributor and editor-in-chief at The Federalist. And Jeremy Hunt, Veterans on Duty chairman and former Army intelligence captain. So he's always fact-checking. Dramatic new video now. Let's take a look together at the moment of impact on that runway. Watch this.
Oh, no, 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 no. Tower, you're seeing this airplane just crash into 3.
There are times I'm so thankful that bystanders have phones. I mean, that's a completely different vantage point, and they continue to come in. Passengers who were inside that plane are talking about being upside down, hanging like bats, some of them, from their seats, because their seatbelt was keeping them that way when the plane flipped over. The video captures what it was like during the evacuation.
Everything, drop it. Come on. Don't take the video. Put that phone away.
No. Holy.
Well, you can see the passengers frantic to get to safety. They were running toward the exits, trying to get out. Flight attendants telling them to leave their belongings behind and please just go. Now, I learned something about my coworkers every day. I just learned that Cheryl Casoni is a former flight attendant. Talk to me about what you've been taught for those instances back in the day and how this went.
The crew is heroes, both the pilots and the flight attendant, all 4 flight attendants. You're trained to evacuate an aircraft when it's right side up. You are not trained to evacuate an aircraft when it is upside down. That's one thing. The slides were not deployed. That is number 2. How fast they got out of the aircraft is remarkable, because fire is the biggest concern when you have any type of incident. The most worrisome times of any flight are going to be takeoff and landing.
That's right.
This was, as an expert told you in your show, a fast landing. That descent was fast. That'll be part of the investigation. But at the same time, what I didn't like about this, and I'm going to put my finger a little bit at people out there when you're flying, leave your stuff behind. You heard that flight attendant say, drop it. She said, leave your stuff. You don't need your backpack. You don't need your phone. I'm sorry. I'm glad we have video, but you don't need that stuff. Just get off. Because when you're told to look out of the window to see if there's fire, we're not joking when we tell you that. But these flight attendants were heroes. The other thing is, how are you hanging upside down and able to release that seatbelt? Bombardier is a really small aircraft. When you get into one, and I'm sure everybody on this couch has flown on one, I'm going to be on one in 2 weeks, it's a very small amount of inches when you get on that plane between your head and the top of the plane. So if you were, some of the larger passengers were probably able to actually almost reach the ceiling, let go, and then they were able to help others. I think it was a very fast, efficient evacuation.
That's amazing.
And so lucky, so lucky. Real quick, I do want to have a conversation at some point about lap children, because one of the
lap children. So 2 things came into mind as you were talking. And Molly, I'll come to you on this. So if you don't have much headroom, I worry about people hitting their heads upside down in a plane. So that's where I thought you were going. So let's hope that the injuries didn't involve that, because some people did go to the hospital to get evaluated and have now gone home. But
they wouldn't have.
Still hospitalized. So that's a blessing that they wouldn't have, because they're in that seat so tight. But look, I've been that parent where I'm traveling with a toddler, 2 under 2. And it is frightening to think of leaving a bag behind when I know their lives would depend on it. So I appreciate what you're saying, but I don't think I'd take a lecture from a flight attendant in that moment. I might need my bag. So I want to leave enough grace for people to understand that you're also panicking. You may not even hear that flight attendant, but you know you got your kids with us. I don't know what the configuration was. I think we only know of one toddler who's hospitalized now. Of the two, that's what we're thinking, but we don't even have that confirmed. Molly.
Well, it's just a reminder of all sorts of things, like the constant admonition to make sure you're buckled. And you know people don't do that. And then you see a landing like this, which was a fast, maybe hard landing, where even if this hadn't happened of a rollover, you still want to be buckled. And, you know, it's a good reminder of those things. But these incidences still are extremely rare. Like, it's just a miracle how we're able to travel with relatively few problems. But that doesn't keep me from praying each and every takeoff and before each and every landing. This is not how I would, this is not something I'd like to go through. So I just cannot even imagine what it was like for these people.
Look, I believe in aviation. I'm the kid of a combat pilot. My husband and youngest child are on a flight right now coming home from Spring Break, Arizona. They do spring break now in February, I guess. So I pray too, but I also understand what goes into getting us to be so competitive in aviation as a country. And that's why I come to you now, Jeremy, because I know as an intelligence officer, you're looking into everything, especially when military crashes happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of questions asked. Obviously, there's going to be. We're hoping that we get to the bottom of this to get the answers. But really, I mean, when you watch that video, I mean, you're reminded of how much trust we put into just the air travel process. You're trusting that the aircraft is safe. It's passed all the maintenance checks, all the safety checks. You're trusting the pilot, knows what they're doing. I mean, it's so much trust you put in. And then when you see images like this, it's very. I think it makes a lot of people very fearful. So I think it's important to remember really what Molly said is I always say prayer as well. When I'm taking off, my peace comes from the Lord and knowing that, okay, I'm going to be okay. And then secondly, understanding that we live in a country that we take these things very seriously. We have professionals on the ground that are looking into all the details of it. Even after, even still the crash in D.C., we're still looking into the answers there. So we take these things seriously. We live in a country that takes that seriously. And I think that's a huge blessing because it's not like that everywhere.
We also are in a country that gets so many flights taken off and landing.
Yes.
Millions of them with no issue. And I think we need to be grateful for that, too, because people are going to move around.
Yeah, and this video that we're showing right now, that was taken from the cockpit of a plane that was waiting to take off. So you can hear as he is exclaiming in horror at what's happening. I mean, this is another pilot watching. This is one that is in the most control of our safety. And my hearts and prayers go out to all of those pilots every day, all of those flight crews who are dedicated first and foremost to the safe air travel of the passengers. Earlier on America's Newsroom, they had the gentleman that took this video now that you're watching, and his testimony I thought was sort of remarkable because he expected to skid a lot longer. We talked about the fast evacuation, but the crash itself was very fast too. He said, I expected to keep skidding, and instead we just flipped over. It was so sudden. And so, perhaps as we see in the video, that wing catching. And we talk about the importance, obviously, the cruciality of our safety belts. Well, it's also imperative that we wear them correctly. We all remember that horrific SFO flight where the plane clipped the wall up before landing, and the majority of the horrific injuries on that flight, including multiple deaths, were because of the improper use of the seatbelts. You know better than I, Cheryl, but all the back injuries. So it's important to be safely tied in, but also low across your lap, which, speaking of lap, I'd love to hear that lap children point you were going to make.
So I understand that you have to pay for an extra seat for your child that's 2 or under. I understand that. That's an economic hardship on so many people. At the same time, if you're going to put your child in a car seat in the car, why wouldn't you put your child in a car seat on a plane? And it's something that's always bothered me. I was very young. I was a flight attendant through most of my 20s before I kind of went back into what I studied in school, which was journalism. So I'm thrilled to be here to talk about it like this. But at the time, when I was flying, I just remember that it always bothered me inside. Because when you go through the training, you're trained on worst case scenario. Something's gonna happen to you in the car, not on a plane. That is the statistics. That's safe. I will get on a plane every single day the rest of my life and feel fine.
Well, that is one of the...
Absolutely.
If I could...
But the kids is what I'm hoping the FAA might
Well, the
Maybe have a
airlines can
discussion
work
about
on
it.
this too.
I would
I
just-
mean, you're
I
at
think
Fox
that-
Business. They could lower fares
could
for
lower
people
fares,
for a
but-
second seat for a child.
Let's
I mean,
have a
it's not
conversation.
hard.
Yeah.
It is true that car travel is far riskier to children than air travel, but it's also true that all of these safety provisions that we've put in place aren't without a cost. And one of the costs is it's really hard to have a bunch of children and put them all in a vehicle. And my siblings and I make fun of my parents for how they would put us like in the upper level of the back of a car, like no car restraints because I'm that age. And that's bad. And that was a very common way for people to die. But it's also, there really are costs. You don't get to see grandparents as much. You don't get to be part of the family.
It's not an easy conversation, and I understand that.
No,
I do.
I'm glad we're having it though, because we have the actual spring break travel coming up, and it's a good one for us to have. I have no compunction about flying at all, but I have seen a season of this now, and we are covering it stem to stern.